Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of To the Magic and Beyond. We've got a really fun episode today. My name is Jordan, and I'm here with my co-host Michelle.
Hello there.
And we are welcoming for the very first time our two producers, putting mics on them today. We've got producer Logan. Say hello.
What's up?
And producer Courtney.
Hey guys.
When we started this project, obviously Michelle and I were gung-ho to be able to sit and talk about Disney forever.
Oh, yeah.
And Logan is my husband, Courtney is Michelle's daughter, and they wanted to be involved but weren't sure they wanted to be on the mics, but we talked them into it. So they've been behind the scenes helping us out with ideas and marketing and all that stuff. But for today's episode, we thought we'd wrangle them in.
And I'd just like to say, you know, they may not have been planning on being on necessarily much, but they're both dressed for it because I'm just now looking. We put the Disney gear on for this, yes. And I'm looking, and they both came prepared, so they must participate.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you show up and we're doing a podcast and you've got a Disney shirt on, you're participating now.
That's it.
But, one of the main reasons we wanted to bring them in was we wanted to do a little bit different of an episode than what we've been doing. And we all went to see the new live-action Snow White because we thought it would be fun to do a review on it.
And we had popcorn, some of us.
Yeah.
It was exciting.
The line was so much shorter when y'all got in there than when we got there.
We got way too much popcorn that we wasted and paid way too much money for it. I felt like I was at Disney World.
But you enjoyed your movie experience with it. So.
Oh, it was great. Yeah. Can't do a movie without popcorn.
Yes. But yeah, the brand new live action Snow White just came out a couple weeks ago. If you're on social media at all, there has been some very mixed reviews. And so we thought, let's go see this ourselves and
yes,
then do a podcast episode about it.
And I think 3 of the 4 of us did their homework, which was to watch the original Snow White again.
I was 36 years behind on my homework. I never saw it until this week.
Producer Courtney, did you watch it this week?
I did watch it. I still don't like it.
I think producer Courtney watched it when she was about 8 and never has watched it again.
Yeah, it had been a minute for me as well. I'm actually glad we thought about that because it was actually, I enjoyed going into the movie today having recently seen it, because a lot of the other live actions I've watched more recent or have watched a lot more. Right. Nothing against the original Snow White. It's just it's old, the 1930s. You know,
it's very old.
And so it just was not. She wasn't my favorite princess. Mm-hmm. Nothing like
you
I
can
love
only
the dwarves.
digitally,
I love.
Yeah,
but
you can only digitally master that so much to help it, right? Like
yes.
it still looks like you're watching it on film strip, kind of sort of.
It was as soon as we turned it on, Logan was like, "Oh, it's this old." I was like, yeah,
it's old.
Like that classic opening.
Yeah, yeah, it's got the
credits are at the front of the movie instead of the back.
Yeah,
through them.
Yeah.
But you know, and if you go back and you think about, like sometimes old people like me, you know, get messed with a little bit because you like animated movies, Disney movies, you know, because you know there's there's so much. Well, there is a lot, but I'm really conscious of what I watch, right?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to watch really terrible things all the time. That doesn't mean I'm perfect at that. But, you know, if you go back and think about when Walt Disney was originally releasing these movies, everybody went to see these movies.
Yeah,
these were huge.
Yeah.
These were huge productions, huge red carpet premieres in New York City and in California.
Well, and Snow White was like one of the first, I think we were talking earlier, it was like one of the first fully colored musical movie, like animated movies. Like it was groundbreaking for its time. So a lot of people went to it. It won awards. Like
people
knocking
adults
it.
loved it, right? Exactly.
What
but you know, you go back and you think of Steamboat Willie and all those cartoons. Like, yes, they were for kids, but in that time, people really didn't do a lot just for their kids.
Yeah,
that's a modern day thing where we put our kids first.
Yeah.
And they get to experience everything. But, this was people were going on dates to see Snow White. This was, like a little bit different thing back then. But definitely dated.
Yes. But, I mean, it was still fun to go back and especially having the direct, to really be able to directly compare it and see, like, some of those, a lot of the Disney live action is famous for having those kind of recreating some of the scenes exactly as they were.
Yep.
So it was cool for me, at least watching through it and being like, oh, I remember that scene, or
Right.
I remember that one of the characters Logan and I really liked, there was this random little, like, turtle.
I love the turtle that raised his head and was smiling.
Our favorite. And he wasn't as featured in the
Question.
live action, but he appeared and we were like, there's the turtle.
Yeah.
Are we giving spoilers away tonight?
Well, so that's what I was about to get into before we got there. For anybody who has not seen the new live action Snow White, if you don't want spoilers,
Don't listen.
Don't listen further. Here's your warning, your fair warning.
Although,
Spoiler number 1, there was not enough turtle. I loved the turtle in the original the other night, and he only made one appearance.
That's true.
Not enough turtle.
I feel they
Sorry,
added a hedgehog, and I feel like the hedgehog became the
Oh,
turtle for this one.
the
But he was
hedgehog
cute.
was super cute.
Yeah.
He starts at the beginning. He's got several cameos, and he's
Yes.
cute in all of them. And then the rabbits.
Yes.
Because there's like different kinds.
Mhm.
Like there's the floppy-eared rabbit,
Yeah.
and then there's the
Like the
rabbit with the
straight
ears
rabbit.
stand up. Yeah.
And little babies.
Little babies. And of course the little bluebirds.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the original.
Yeah.
Lots of little bluebirds
I will
here.
say the animal animation in this was so cute.
Very cute. The
Very
deer.
well done.
Did you notice he didn't make an appearance until, when things are going real bad for Snow White. she's dying, sort of, going to deep sleep. But the buck
Yes.
that came up, was he not the stag? Was he not beautiful?
Yes.
And he had like 2 appearances because he's like, kind of when she, the animals are watching the whole thing go down.
Yeah.
And then when the dwarfs have her at her, what could be her burial, but they think she's dead. But
Yeah.
she's asleep. And then he's kind of off in the distance,
Mm-hmm.
right? I thought he was really pretty. And
Yeah.
like, not really like, I don't know. He's not like prolific or anything, but like I just noticed him and how pretty he was.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought
And the squirrel was great.
Yeah, so
That
cute.
little sad squirrel. But he was
Yeah.
a little happy squirrel sometimes. Yeah, I like the squirrel.
Goes to show that Disney does show how to put emotions on live action animals.
Yes.
We figured that out for
We
this one.
figured that out. Yeah.
They
yeah,
listened
yeah,
to
yeah.
the critiques of Lion
that first
King.
live,
and
live
figured
action
out.
Lion King had a lot of bad things to it. They
Yeah.
did better with Mufasa.
Yeah.
I felt like the lion,
Yeah.
although those creepy bye lions.
Yes. But overall, I really enjoyed I thought the animals were super cute. I thought visually the movie was stunning.
Oh, I really, yeah. I was on a work trip this week, like I am every week right now. But so I didn't get to watch the original.
Yeah.
Thought a lot about it. I've seen it more than once because I actually kind of like it more than my children did. They didn't like it at all. But
It is a little scary for kids.
I kind of talked to a friend before we got to the movie theater, and I was like, we're going to see the terrible version. And she was like, come on, don't go at it that way. Because I said, we're going to do this review. She's like, don't go at it that way. She was like, because I've heard some really good things about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so before coming in, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go with it like never seen the original,
Yeah.
right? And not really necessarily compare every single scene because they're never going to have every scene
Yeah.
in it the same, right?
Yeah.
And this one has had a lot of media attention.
Yes, this one has had a lot of media attention, and I feel like from what I had seen on social media, people either loved it or they were absolutely trashing it. And I was like, I've just never seen so much like either one side or the other.
The Little
which-
Mermaid was the closest.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that was the closest we had seen from people just being, and it's because of how they did the casting, and regardless of your feelings on it, right? I thought she did a great job. Like, I thought she was believable. If we're getting technical, like there are all kinds of things that are cast that aren't just the same. And so if you're looking for that historical significance of which I don't really. I bet if we took a poll of Disney fans today of what's the historical significance and cultural background of Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, and Snow White, I'm gonna bet at least 50%, if not more, would not know the country of origin of the story.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Straight up. So if you're a person like maybe you really don't know that this is a German princess, right? Supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
But she's a princess.
And
I mean,
spoiler alert, they don't speak in German in any of the versions.
Right.
So you would never know.
and we've all seen Frozen.
Norway.
And I mean, yeah, I mean, it's a little different, but like that kingdom doesn't exist. You know what I mean? So like it's, yes, everybody knows it's kind of Norwegian, but
yeah.
So I mean, they're not speaking in German. It's a movie.
I think with any movie, it's important to just go in. I also went in with, I didn't have low expectations, but I didn't have high expectations. I wanted to enjoy it for what the movie was going to be. I didn't want any preconceived anything going into it, because I'm a person where I pretty much like most movies that I go to. It takes a lot for me to not like it, and so I didn't want to make myself not like it before I even got there based off of other people. So I definitely went in middle of the road. I don't know, Logan and Courtney,
As I said before, I had never seen it. I'm one of those that gets Sleeping Beauty and Snow White mixed up.
He does, but he's learned a lot this week.
Never seen it. Never really understood it. Didn't know that Hi Ho and Whistle While You Work came from this movie. If that tells you my background going into the week.
When we were watching the original version the other day and they sang the Whistle While You Work, he was like, "Is this where this originated from?"
Did you wait?
Yes.
Wait,
I didn't know.
You've been to Magic Kingdom?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the Mine Train. They sing it in the Mine Train, right?
Yeah,
Yes, I understand
it's
that. I thought,
the dwarfs.
this is a really good song for this ride.
Yep.
It makes
Just
sense.
thought good
Seriously.
theming.
So anyway,
I'm gonna have to let that one go. I'm gonna let that go,
Contrary-
Sebastian, on his shirt. A
I'll
very
address-
large
yes.
Sebastian is
my
looking at
my
me.
shirt that you can't see says "The Human World. It's a Mess." I bought this when I went to Disney the first time with Jordan to send a subtle message to the people around me.
I got you.
No, contrary to Michelle, I am glad that I watched the original this week. Obviously, because I'd never seen it, but also because 48 hours later, I was able to literally compare every scene. That was the way I went into it, unbiased. Just comparing. How did they compare it to the original?
Yeah.
How did they do it compared to the original? And yes, you had to add to make it 2 hours long or whatever to the storyline. But I really enjoyed that aspect of comparing it to the original. Unlike, I think you guys said you didn't as much.
Oh, I was either way, but yeah.
I tried to go in with an open mind, of course, but mainly for me, it was just comparing it.
Courtney, what about you?
Yeah, I was prepared to compare it. I also didn't really think I would like the live action as much as I did.
Especially since you didn't really like the
I didn't grow up
animated.
loving Snow White. She was my least favorite princess.
Yeah.
So,
Which is funny because you can't see this tonight, but we actually have a picture of producer Courtney.
well, just because I have
With
my
Snow
picture
White.
made with her doesn't mean she's my favorite.
You're
princess.
smiling. It seems like
doesn't
you
mean
liked
you
it.
disliked her either. She just wasn't your favorite. We all Belle was probably my favorite, but yeah.
Anyway, I thought she did a really good job
Yeah.
of portraying Snow White.
Yeah.
I liked what they did add. I loved the dwarfs and I loved the music in the movie.
Oh, so the music. So, as much as I knew there was controversy about this movie, guess what I didn't realize?
What?
That it was more musical.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're not always.
A lot of
Right?
times they've taken, the live action Cinderella, they actually took out
They-
a
the
lot
bulk.
of this. The
yeah,
bulk
yeah,
of
yeah.
it.
They took out the bulk of the music. So, whereas Beauty and the Beast, I thought it was, they
Yes.
did that, and I was prepared, and we had, everyone had heard about all of the vocal training and things that they had gone through.
Yes.
So coming into this one, I knew about kind of not all of the controversy, but I knew there was a lot of controversy since 2022. But I was like, And when it started, I mean, the turtle was really great. But like, as I'm, and the animals, but like, I'm like, oh, I think I even said that out loud. Oh, like, this is a musical.
Yeah.
Like, I love a good musical.
Yes.
So let's see if we like, and, because like Mufasa, I already knew that there was music.
Going to be, yeah.
Because that was a big thing with The Lion King. Like, all three have had
music is a big part
music.
of those.
But I was like, oh, this is good. And it was really good. It was very well done.
Yes, I loved the music. That was probably one of my favorite parts about the movie, which I'm a big music person, so that's a big deal to me. And I didn't mean to look this up before we started, so people, if you're going to fact check me and this is wrong, I'm so sorry. But I think it was the same composers that did The Greatest Showman, which is one of my all-time favorite movie soundtracks.
Yep.
So I had high hopes that the music would be good, but you just never know. Sometimes, Lin-Manuel did Mufasa and it wasn't my favorite, but I've loved some of his other stuff.
Right.
So you just never know. But the music in this, I feel like really, truly added so much value to the movie.
Well, and it fit. So
yes.
New music,
a lot of new music.
Yeah, most because the the track that everyone would remember from the original, she doesn't actually sing, right?
Yep.
But you mentioned she hums it.
Yes, she hums it throughout a couple of times, so there is
that connection,
like homage played to that. But they give her a new ballad or a new kind of that typical
really
princess.
good.
I'm wishing for a better life song, and it was really well done. I think it fit really well for her. She's a beautiful singer. She's got a great voice. And so I was okay with it not being in there because it wasn't a song that like. It's not my must-sing princess song, but I know some of the people who are probably really big true Snow White fans might be a little upset that one's not in there. Yeah. But I was okay with the new one just because I thought it was so good. And then you've still got Whistle While You Work.
Yep.
And you've still got the Hi-Ho,
which was
off
great.
To work, which I feel like to me are more of the classics from there.
I think those are the ones, obviously, with the ride. They put those in there,
which we've learned are original to
they're original to the movie.
Yes,
fact check: the songwriters are the same as the ones from La La Land and Greatest Showman.
Oh, La La Land too.
Land.
Yeah, I forgot.
And Dear Evan Hansen, if that means anything to you.
Well, I mean, but the best song, was a Princess Problem.
Princess Problem.
Funny.
And you're gonna love. I mean, because it's just so cute. Now, I do not know the young man that plays what would have been the prince, but there's not a prince. Again, spoiler alert. They went a different route. But
still a love interest, just not a prince.
I thought that he was channeling a couple times his inner Kermit the Frog, but that's a positive for me because I grew up with the Muppets and Kermit used to sing songs.
Yes. Overall, his voice is very good, but he did have a few ways that he sang some phrases more so in his higher register that he did kind of cut it off more in a Kermit Frog way. Yeah. But it's almost also like a Broadway
But it wasn't
style.
It wasn't annoying.
No, it was
like
very
good.
It
was endearing.
Yeah.
Like I thought he did, I don't even know, like, did you look him up? Who is he?
Andrew Burnap.
Yeah. Have no idea who he is. Don't know if he's been in anything
new.
else.
I think he's new on the scene. Yeah.
Okay. And he did a great job. And the animation, the dwarfs. Let's talk about those for a minute. Because I thought those were a lot of controversy with what they were going to do there. Disney listened. Again, I know that people get very frustrated with them. But the thing that they don't always listen to everything.
Right.
But the thing that they did go back on this was there was such an outcry that they kind of listened, I think. And they did it in a very good way with the dwarfs being magical creatures. And they show that a little bit when they're in the mine, which was great, I thought.
Yeah,
their hands lighting up.
Yeah.
And because they're, mining for diamonds and jewels. And I thought those were cool.
Yeah.
Way better than in the original.
Yeah.
Because in the original, it's really dark. And, I mean, there's some shiny stuff with some candles.
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
And I do think they made it kind of fit and feel like a little bit more like the ride at Magic Kingdom, which I was kind of hoping they would do since you have that there. So why not make it?
Yes, that scene with Dopey when he's got the jewels in his eyes. That's cute.
Yes. Yeah, I thought that was really well done. Dopey is like he was always my favorite dwarf to begin with. Part of that is because if you know me, I have big ears and I can wiggle them. So my whole life, my family has either nicknamed me Dopey or Dumbo. So I feel like personally, I've related to Dopey.
Okay, wait. We just have to stop right there because we've known each other for a minute. We've vacationed together and stayed in a hotel room. I sort of kind of dressed up like a duck. Which is something that people that know me, I'm not really into dressing up like stuff. But I did it. In our way, yes, and it was good. The Disney bounding. However, how have I not seen the ears wiggle?
It's my best kept secret.
She hides them.
I've seen you do it.
Yeah.
You've shown me before.
Yes.
What?
It's my party trick.
You've at least mentioned it before.
Man.
I wore my hair up in a ponytail a lot when I was younger, so they were much more noticeable. I love my ears. I would never change them, but it is a little bit of a self-conscious thing for me though. So most of the time
I got big ears.
I keep them hidden. But
Yours aren't big, they just stick
they
out.
stick out. And I can wiggle them. So growing up, my family would lovingly endearment call me Dopey or Dumbo. So Dopey's just always been. I had a very nice family.
Yeah. You and Dopey.
Yeah.
Because Dopey's buds were making fun of him too.
And he felt a little upset about it in this movie. He got a little bit bullied, but they addressed that.
I felt like in the original, he's Dopey, right?
Yeah.
I don't feel like anybody I don't feel like he felt sad about it.
Yeah.
Nor was he aggravated or anything. But in this one, he's a little sad. Like
well,
it was
he's like
a little moment there.
He's so endearing. Like, and I don't know if it was just he doesn't talk. Like that's his thing. But they did so well, I feel like, with the animation on him, where it's like he emoted so much with his eyes and his smile, and like him and Snow White just kind of communicated back and forth that way, and she kind of helps him come out of his shell a bit. And I really loved what they did with Dopey and his character.
I thought that, yes, he emoted. He talked without talking a lot, and Snow White connected with him, but I thought that was a great connection. How she connects with the animals, talks to the animals.
Yeah.
She did that with Dopey too, and brought him out of his shell. You know, and I thought that was really good early on with Dopey because they added that storyline a lot more.
Yeah, and
which made Dopey my favorite character of the movie.
Yeah, he was so cute. I love him.
Well, and I mean, I just have to throw this out there. He looks just like the kid from Polar Express.
Yes.
Like with bigger ears.
We all did realize
and a little dress on.
That the animation a little bit is a little reminiscent of that.
Yeah.
But
or Opie.
Like
Logan
Opie.
said he looks like Opie Taylor
Opie
from
looks like
Andy
Opie.
Griffith. But he's cute, and they don't look fake.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like
Yes.
they definitely look. Obviously they're digital.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
It blended well.
it blended well. It didn't look like some like Roger Rabbit.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, totally. I mean, that was kind of on purpose, but still, it blended well. They were well done, and I think they fit. Like, I think they matched the original drawers in such a way that, like, it was, you know, again, if you're into the original, I think there was enough there. There was enough there for me. I was prepared that I could go either way, right? I was going in. Again, I didn't even know that there were people going to be singing. Because I'll be honest, the last sort of kind of sing along that had some Snow White sentiment was Into the Woods, and I'm out. I thought that was terrible. Didn't love it. Felt like they stole my money. At the box office, popcorn didn't even make that good. That was. I've only seen a couple of movies that I was like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Rango was the other one.
Oh.
Have you seen Rango?
No.
Johnny Depp. Voice
Is
the
that
lizard.
animated lizard? Yeah.
The animated lizard. It was so bad. We got up and left.
Oh no.
Not to mention there was some inappropriate, and I had my kids there. So like halfway through, we were like, "Oh, I didn't know about this."
Yeah.
I obviously didn't know about checking Rotten Tomatoes back then, so I didn't go look. But yeah, I thought it was well done. The music is great. I thought that the graphics were great. The acting was really good,
Yeah.
and the storyline. Look, we talked about this kind of prepping. The storyline is very simple
Yeah.
in Snow White.
Especially if you go back and look at the original animated. Like, there's not a lot that happens in
Right.
the movie.
It's very slow. It was before kids had screens.
Yeah.
So I feel like they added depth.
Yes.
Where it worked.
Yep.
And let's get to one of the most important characters. The evil queen.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
She's good.
Yep.
She's good. I mean, reminiscent of Maleficent, right?
Yeah.
Angelina Jolie did a really
Yeah.
good job with that one. We talked about that when we were prepping. I thought that one was very well done. She is just as evil and creepy.
And her costumes
Oh.
were so cool.
Yeah. I mean, I think Disney, when you go to the parks, again, not been to Disneyland yet, going in September. So I don't know what that looks like there.
Yeah.
But at Disney World, the people that play the evil queen, they do a good job, and the costume is very good.
Yeah.
And I thought that because she has a couple different capes in this one, right? And that crown. And the jewelry and her nails and her rings.
The whole look
She is just
perfect.
She's bad.
Yeah.
It's good to be bad.
I was a little surprised. I did not know Gal Gadot if she can sing or not, so I was a little caught off guard that she had a song. They give her, the Queen's big evil song. And again, I don't know if it was real. It sounded like it was really her singing, so that's a cool surprise. But if not, they did a good job making it seem like it was her. So I was impressed that.
Yeah, and I didn't
she could
even
do that.
Wonder Woman. I really love that movie.
Yes.
And I didn't even get it. And Katie, who's not a producer, but Katie, my other daughter, was on the other side of me, and we were in the movie, and she was like, "That's Wonder Woman," and I went, "What?
Yeah.
Is it really?" Because I really liked the new Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
So like,
we haven't seen Gal she hasn't been a villain yet. Like, a lot of her roles have been heroic, so it was very different to see her.
She's heroic, just for the opposite team.
Yeah, she really makes you not like her.
Yeah. And so
they kind of gave you not a backstory, but they gave her a little bit more of where she came from as opposed to the original.
Yeah,
they did. Yeah,
in the animated version, she's just there and she's vain and she wants Snow White killed.
And you don't even know like how she ended up.
Yeah, like
with Snow White.
Where did Snow White's dad go?
Yeah.
How did they get married?
And her mom.
What's that? Yeah,
like
where
the whole
did
thing.
her original mom go? Because unfortunately, in the beginning of Disney's movie career, they really did stepmoms dirty.
Yeah,
and
they
a
did.
lot of times that
They
was
did.
the evil character.
Yep.
But yeah, it was kind of nice to see a little bit more of the backstory of how the evil queen came into the picture, because you think, like, if someone could raise such a nice kid, how could they fall in love with such an evil person? Did they know? Like, it was cool to see that.
But like the only thing that I'm pondering now is like, why'd you keep her around?
Yeah,
like you think about it, like,
yeah, that's true.
she killed Dad off.
Yeah,
I mean, nobody really knew that's what she did.
Right.
And maybe, and it could be that.
Yeah.
It could be, they
You
make
can't
this
get
whole
rid of
little plot
everybody.
thing up. She makes the whole thing up where the dad goes off, except for he's going off. He never is to return. So maybe just because of the people in the
to
town,
keep
she
them from
doesn't
being
have them under control
suspicious.
enough
Yeah.
yet. Like she ends up.
Yeah. Well, and they kind of even allude to it at the beginning, like she essentially makes Snow White like a
She's
servant,
a servant.
right?
Yeah, they said
And
that. Yeah.
all she cares about is being the fairest of them all. And as a little girl, that's not really in
Large and
competition
in
with
charge,
her,
yep.
But then by the time we come into Snow White's story, now she's this blossoming young woman.
And she's
now
starting to
she's
say
becoming-
stuff.
Yeah, she's starting to stand up a little bit and have opinions. And so beforehand, she wasn't a problem. So you don't need to get rid of her, you know. But then as soon as she becomes a problem, she's like, yo, Huntsman,
Yeah.
go cut out her heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Which they do change that up because
Yeah.
in the original, you know, it's off with her head kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's
Yeah.
got the axe, you got the axe,
Yeah.
which is funny just because there used to be a ride at Disney World, and you know, you go back and you think about all the movies in the early on that Walt Disney did, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he did not shy away from the scary. There
Yeah.
was, you know, Pinocchio,
Mm-hmm.
very dark.
Very dark moments.
Right? I mean, all the princess movies.
Mhm.
Cinderella has scary.
Mm-hmm.
Sleeping Beauty has scary.
Beauty
And
the
maybe not
Beast.
in the traditional, right? Beauty and the
Yeah.
Beast. That, I mean, one of the primary characters is scary.
Yeah.
But they put this ride in Fantasyland. It was one of the original rides. We took my kids on it.
Yeah. It was
And my
literally
parents-
called Snow White's
Snow White's Scary Adventures.
in
And
the
you're
kids
in
section.
you're in a mine car like the dwarfs, right? And so like they're the happy people. So you get in the mine car. Again, this was before you did all this, you know, watching all these clips, right?
Mhm.
So I don't know. Katie's like 2.5, maybe. I don't know. And Courtney's a little older, obviously. And so here we go, our family vacation, and I'm like, oh, well, everybody can ride this. This will be good. We get
Yeah.
my mom, because my mom was really scared of stuff. We get on it, and at the very beginning, like you start out, you came through, and to the left is the mirror. And he's
Mhm.
talking about so it's that whole conversation with the queen
Yeah.
and him, right? And it's kind of up a traditional Disney dark ride,
Yeah.
right? So kind
Yeah.
of black light and
Mhm.
everything. And then here we are. To the right are the woods, and
And
the
Snow
axe.
White's
Yeah.
about to get
The
killed.
woodsman has his axe, and all he's doing is dropping it. Whoomp, whoomp, over and over while the little car's going by. Katie's losing her mind. She's screaming. She's trying to climb out of the seat and climb over
Oh,
to her dad who's
no.
behind us. And like, I'm just laughing. My mom's like, stop. What are you doing? And I'm like, I mean, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Like, she's going to cry. This
have
is
to get through
terrible.
it, yeah.
We have ruined like, she may not ride another ride. Not long after that day, we're walking through Magic Kingdom, and I know you remember because you lived in Florida and went to Disney. Disney characters used to walk through the park all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
There were a few meet and greets that were like set up like Character Row, right, at Magic Kingdom. But a lot of times they're just walking by and they stop and you take a picture and these massive lines didn't form. It was crazy. We're walking through, have the double stroller, right? Katie's in the stroller, and I think Courtney's like walking. And we're just kind of walking through, kind of near where the carousel was, right? And then Dumbo.
Yeah.
Because they both used to be up there. And all of a sudden, I see the cape. And the evil queen is walking through. And of course, they're always in character.
Yeah.
My mom thinks she's being funny in front of Katie, who's
Oh no.
terrified after the ride. And my mom reaches out and touches the cape. She doesn't tug on it. She's not
Yeah.
messing with the characters like sometimes
Yeah.
people do. But she's just messing with Katie. Well, it's almost like she felt it.
Yeah.
Because she whips around.
no.
And when she whipped around, the cape whipped around. And she's like, who touched me? And that queen and Katie again. Like, I've got the stroller. Katie's trying to dive out of the stroller. I popped a wheelie through the kid back in the stroller because she's going to get hurt. And I'm like mad at my mom. Like, what are you doing? Like, we're trying to have a good vacation.
Yeah.
This is not going right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I feel like they took it. I mean, it still got dark.
Yeah. But they definitely toned it down a little bit, I would say.
I didn't think the original was that dark. There was like 3 scenes, and
Well,
they're
you didn't
pretty
watch
much,
it.
Didn't watch it as a
5-year-old.
little
Watch
kid.
it.
They're
though.
pretty much happy, and
I'm
and
glad as
they're
a
grown
humming and
man.
singing a lot.
didn't find
A
it
grown
scary.
man going,
Not that I thought the
fine.
live action was dark either, but I'm just saying I didn't think
Yeah,
that
that
Yeah.
wasn't as big of an issue for you.
no one was saying bye-bye.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't.
We
Yeah.
have to kill you all off.
Bye bye.
An entire song about annihilating a whole
Pride of Lions.
Yeah, Pride of Lions.
You know
You're
what
all
it is.
going to die.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Mufasa yet, check that one out.
That's
And
good.
Then
Bye-bye.
you'll get our joke.
Yeah.
If you haven't, sorry.
Yeah, if you haven't, spoiler alert, it's in there.
It's interesting.
People, lions die. That's
Yeah.
how it goes. But yeah, I thought overall, I mean, let's do this. Let's go around the room and on 5 stars, 5 being best Disney animated movie you've ever seen. Let's go, Logan.
This was live action, not animated.
Well, no, it was a mix. Because,
Okay.
The creatures.
CGI.
Yeah, CGI.
Yeah.
They're.
I don't want to go first.
Why?
We're just
This
the
isn't my podcast.
producers.
This is y'all's podcast.
You get to go.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll go first.
It's a-
We'll let them. We put them on the spot.
They're still thinking.
I would, yeah, but I was literally about to say the same thing. Let's just go around and get final thoughts on it. But I would say, so for me, it was a way better than I was expecting. Again, I went in with medium expectations. This could be a hot take, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. There were multiple times in the movie where I got like chills from moments that happened, teared up a little bit at a couple of things, just like really thoroughly enjoyed the experience. So I honestly would probably give it like a, maybe this is going high, but I feel like a 4
Okay.
for me.
Okay.
4 out of 5, right? We said
4
5
yeah,
star?
5 stars is the highest,
four.
right?
I think it's
Right.
really enjoyable. I think if you
So,
go
like, if we
in-
were setting the bar, like, we'd probably say, like, the original Lion King would
It
be
would
a
be
5,
like a-
right?
yeah.
Like 7.
Yeah.
5-point
the
scale.
live action would be like a 1.
Yeah, it was a 1.
I would like my favorite live action so far have probably been Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast. So those are like 5s for me.
Okay.
I would say it's a solid 4. I think if you go in wanting to hate it, you'll probably find a reason to hate it.
Yep.
But I went in wanting to enjoy it, and the music, the CGI,
Yep.
the visual, the costumes, everything was just so enjoyable. And again, I was emotionally invested and really, really enjoyed it. So I would recommend it, and definitely just go in with an open mind, I think, is the key.
Yeah. Courtney?
Why are we skipping you?
Because I'm always go last.
Okay. I'll give it a 3.75.
Oh.
It's not my favorite live action.
But it wasn't
But
before.
it wasn't my.
Yeah, it
and
wasn't your favorite
That's not my favorite
animated.
princess anyway.
Yeah.
But it beats some of the other live actions. Like I would watch this one again.
Yeah, me too.
And there's some that I haven't gone back and rewatched.
Yeah.
So
I
All right.
like that.
3.75 for
I
me.
like that.
Logan?
I'm a terrible movie rater because I like almost every movie I see.
Yeah.
It's true.
I would give it. I'll stick with a 4 as well.
Okay.
I think I got to give myself room to go up, room to go down. I actually really liked it. I do not like movies with agendas, but I went in with an open mind, and I don't know that they had one
yeah,
with this
it
final
didn't feel like
product.
there was one.
They
at
may
all.
have had issues a couple of years ago, whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
We're not talking about that.
They
Right.
went in and
I
fixed
don't
what
think
could have
that
been
there really
agenda.
was much of an agenda, and they added a couple of things to the story to make it make sense. They changed a couple of things a little at the
Yeah.
beginning or whatever. We won't spoil those. But because of that, you could just look right past whatever issues you may have heard about and just focus on the movie. And I actually thought it was really good. I agree. The music was fun. It made sense. There was depth to the characters more so than the original. So yeah, I'd give it a 4.
Okay.
A good 4. Like I
good
would
4.
watch. I would watch it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think if I'm because I've got some since Disney started doing the live actions, I have been kind of hard on them because I haven't loved them all.
Mhm.
A few I've thought were terrible.
Yeah.
I think we kind of talked about it. Aladdin, I was not a fan. I've not rewatched it. Saw it once. I think I half paid attention.
Mhm.
And it had an all-star cast. Really.
Yeah, it did.
You know, and I didn't do it for me. Jungle Book I thought was very well done. That was one of the first. It may have been the first live action that they did
I think Cinderella was first.
Cinderella
it was the
first?
first one they did with the animals.
with the animals, and I thought it was spectacular. And of course, a few things changed in it, but I
Yeah.
thought that it was really well done. So, but of the princess live actions, I mean, this one didn't ruin it. I thought the music was great. kind of, I wouldn't say Frozen-esque. I think that was a once in a lifetime, right? But yeah, I'm gonna have to I'd give it a 4.
Okay.
I would even say I liked it well enough that if a friend was going to the movie and needed a buddy to go see it, I'd pay again to go.
Yeah, I was already thinking like if my niece and my brother was going to take like my niece and nephew, like I would go again with them.
And I'm not a big movie theater repeater because it's expensive.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I think 3 tickets
because of that
were
bucket
like
of popcorn.
Yeah, bucket of popcorn. Yeah. I spent more at the concession stand than I did on the tickets to go to the movie. It was insane. But yeah, I have to do. It's a whole thing. If my buddy Jen listens to this, this will make sense to her because her dad, he left us many years ago, but all the years we've been friends since we were 9, so we've done a lot of movies together. But when you went to the movie with her dad, Clarence, you didn't go to the movie without popcorn.
Yeah.
Like, you're getting popcorn.
Part of the experience.
Even if we ate right before we went.
Yeah,
we're getting at least a small popcorn.
You only 3 bites
and passing it around, but like you just don't do movies without it. And so it always makes me smile when I go. So I always got to get the popcorn. But yeah, I would pay again to go see it. I thought, like I said, I think as Logan said, I'm not into agendas either. I don't really need people to politicize my Disney movies, right? Like if I want to talk about politics, I'll talk about politics.
Yeah.
And if I want to watch a movie about a princess that didn't exist, I just want to enjoy that.
Yeah.
And that's what this is.
Yeah.
And I thought, I didn't see an agenda in the movie
No.
at all.
It just felt like a good old, just slightly new twist on a classic fairy tale, which is my favorite type of movie.
Yeah, I mean, and I think they did a good job. I know they've got some cool movies gonna come out. Like we saw the trailer for Stitch.
Lilo and Stitch.
And I am so excited. He's so
really
cute because
good.
like I was really wondering what's this gonna look like. I'm the oldest person in the room, so I remember when Gremlins came out at the movie theater.
Oh yeah.
And stuff was not done as well back then, right, in the 80s.
Yeah.
And the Gremlins were really cute that went until they got water on them, and then they're really bad. But he's super cute.
Yeah, they
and
did a
you get
great
there's
job.
texture in his fur. Like I thought, like he looks. I
Yeah.
mean, really good.
It looks like if I wanted the animated Stitch to be real, it looks like that. Even some of like the clips of the other aliens and stuff look like really spot on.
Yeah, it looks so. Yeah, that one scene where the alien.
Yeah.
Quigley.
Yes.
Yeah, and they're in their human form, and then they're not. But it's I mean, it looks so. I think, guys, again, there are people that think that I'm a Disney apologist, and I'm not. But I will say this: like everybody gets a mulligan. I'm gonna say it's a 4-star. I think everybody but one. Courtney had it really close, and I think if you give it a second.
Yep.
Courtney's
Lilo
just
and
creative.
Stitch
She
going
didn't
to
want
not-
to give us
Did you
a
think? What
boring
did you think
4.
about Lilo? The clip for Lilo and Stitch.
I'm really excited about that one.
Okay. Yeah.
I saw in the previews, I recognized multiple of the scenes from the original.
There's some classic
So
moments.
I'm really excited. Also, when I didn't know who the 2 guys were at first, and then Pleakley
appeared.
appeared, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be so great."
Yeah.
And the music.
Yeah, the music.
I think the music is going to be spot on,
and
and I'm sure new stuff.
that they got to play
She's so
Lilo
cute.
is adorable.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's going to be. So I think if you're looking, I didn't see when does it come out.
May, I think it said 23rd, but I could be wrong.
Pretty
It was May.
soon.
Yeah. So that's going to be your going into summer movie, and I think Disney. Look, you can't hit it out of the park with every
time.
single movie. They put out a lot of movies, but I think you'll be very happy.
Tune into To the Magic and Beyond in about 6 weeks, and we'll have one of those
we
reviews.
like
There you go.
We like these movie reviews, so hopefully you guys do too, because we enjoy going to the movies. We enjoy talking about them afterwards. So also sorry if you're hearing squeaking. Our unofficial To the Magic and Beyond mascot, our lovely Denver Doodle, is getting mad at us that we're all not paying attention to him. Sometimes our producers have to babysit our dog while we're filming our episodes, and since they're involved today, Denver wants to be seen. So if you hear squeaking, that's what that is. It's not anything. But hopefully we'll keep getting to do these movie reviews. We really like them. Lilo and Stitch coming up. But again, I would definitely say give Snow White a chance. I feel like I was telling Logan in the car on the drive back that I feel like it's really unfortunate that just because of everything surrounding it on the outside that people might miss out on it, because I really do think it's an enjoyable movie.
Yeah, like I've been sitting here thinking, like on the way home tonight, we're gonna listen to the music.
To the soundtrack.
Yeah. I want to listen to the soundtrack because on the way over, Courtney, I guess it was queued up. And her phone was connected, and she was like, I don't want to listen to Snow White. And I was like, oh, you've already...
It was the animated movie.
Yes,
I had it on my phone
yeah.
because I watched it today.
I didn't know if you would... I didn't know.
And so when I got in the car, it was...
You're like, oh, no.
And I was like...
I don't want to listen
not
to this
now.
movie.
Yeah.
Because after we recorded last, I had to listen to Bye Bye on the way home from The Lion King. So Courtney was not happy about that either.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this musical drive home will be a little more enjoyable.
Yeah, this one will be good. This one will be good.
But give it a chance, guys. Hope you enjoyed the review. Like I said, I think we're going to continue doing more of these in the future when stuff comes out. But we hope you enjoyed it. Let us know your thoughts on it, if you did go see it or if you're planning on going to see it. But thank you to Courtney and Logan for joining us today. Our plan is to bring them back for more episodes in the future if they'll let us, because we like hearing what they have to say. So this has been another episode of To the Magic and Beyond, and we'll see you guys next time.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.